Hey crew, Craig here for another episode of the Legacy Forge, taking franchisees and small business owners from where they are now to where they want to be, from lessons of failure and resilience, stories. This is how we learn. We learn through the wisdom of others, not from the success and the glamorization of others. So today's episode, this one's an interesting one. I've had a pretty interesting week this last week. So, hey, first up, like and subscribe, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube for the video. Yes, you can see the handsome me on video doing these amazing solo episodes that I love doing. Yeah. So today's episode is all about lessons from 200 cold calls. That's right. Cold calls. Picking up this. Dialing someone on the phone who's not expecting my call. Yeah. Pretty scary, isn't it? I get fired up, man. Initially, the very first 5 or 10 calls are, yeah. I'm feeling pretty keen now, so I got a few more calls to do tomorrow just to finalize, but literally, I've called every division in the gyms division within every franchisee in every gyms division within 100 kilometers in the Brisbane network, because I'm hosting the very first gyms only networking event on this coming Tuesday night for gyms franchisees only. It's exclusive for gyms guys only, no one else. Cross-divisional networking, introductions from different divisions, keeping the work within the gym's ecosphere. Because Jim Penman himself is jumping up and down about it. And I'm going, well, right, I'll put my hand up for it because I'm considering I'm the only franchise success mentor on the Eastern Seaboard. It's like, how can we strategize this to make this advantageous for franchisees for value, maximum impact and value? Yeah. So they can get the best out of it. And so I can get the best out of it, because then I can turn around and go, right, well, let's see what their pain points are and see if I can help them. Yeah. And most of them need my help. They need a coach. They've never had a coach, majority of them. They don't know what a coach is. And they've bought in on a promise, which I respect. You know, they've bought in on a very successful franchise system, a promise. They've invested in a promise. And now let's see how far they want to take it. Let's see where they want to go. Let's see if they want to become that entrepreneur within the guardrails of a system or just be that subcontractor. I mean, both have positive outcomes. It's their business at the end of the day. Yeah. But I'm looking for the 1% of the 1% who put their hand up and go, say, hey, that's me. Right? That's me. Right? I want to be earning that big money. I want to have that lifestyle. I want to have a better marriage. I want to have a fitter life. I want to start that uni degree. Yeah. Or do whatever. I want to scale my business and scale my life so I can have more time at home, so I can own my business and not have it own me. Does that speak volumes to you out there? So let me ask you a question out there, my lovely audience. Do you have too much to do and not enough time to do it on a daily basis? Yeah. Acknowledge that. Sit with that. Own that. That's where I expertise and guide. Yeah. Franchisees and small business owners are starting to come to me to deal with this issue where overwhelm's crushing them. It's killing them. It's taking more than 20 hours a week away of productivity in their business, keeping them from working on their business, fraying their relationships, their marriages, their health, and ultimately their livelihoods at the end of the day. So working with me, I'm able to take them from doing their business or being stuck in their business in their life to being. And that's where the Arete Method sort of kicks in around the gyms Empower Me. I take someone who's going from a doer And I work with established franchisees predominantly, those who've got skin off their knees already, those that are, gravel rash, that they're knocked in the system a little bit. So they've got scars already. They may have a breach notice or two, they're ragged and torn. And they're pretty much on that verge of either giving up the franchise, or the marriage is almost out the door, or the health is, going down the gurgler, or addictions are taking control of their life. So that's kind of my zone where I work. I don't aim to work with these types or this target market. I come out of the Second Chance Man, rebranded because I got totally destroyed by a coach who literally had a go at me that I was going after soy boy bitch men, men who gone through divorce, right, and lost their shit from an ex, not seeing their kids, and they didn't sign a prenup to begin with. So I was attracting those types of men who wanted safety and not accountability. They just wanted somewhere to hide. And the coach I had, and still have at the time, really destroyed my whole dream of that and rebranded me into something else. Right? So it's not that I won't come across this type of behavior. It's just not on focus. I'm not focusing on that type. Yeah. And I've come a long way, and I've upgraded a lot of my skills where I can work with business owners and franchisees at a higher level, higher caliber, rather than a counselor style role. I can actually challenge and bring in a lot more that masculine energy that's needed in the business world on a clean style, and challenge these guys to put their big boy pants on and go, okay, well, I'm in business. I need to grow the fuck up and take some ownership of my life and responsibility. I've put in, 50, 60s, $100,000 on a promise. Let's start acting my age here, not my shoe size. Yeah. That's the high level aspect of it. So lessons from 200 cold calls. Where do I begin? Very interesting. Hasn't been too bad of a week. I mean, I've had the clowns come out within the system that I've been targeting. Had a few clowns have a go. I had one on Saturday that really had a go. He was quite abusive. But that's just the name of the game. So the lessons is perseverance for me, like persistence. I've done really well in my younger day in sales and door-to-door, in-home consulting. But when it comes to the phone, it's something I've struggled on. And I don't know why. I've had a go at working in call centers, selling investment properties, doing surveys, and it was just shit. Like, it was garbage for me. It was like I felt canned in a little 5x8 cubicle. I felt claustrophobic. I felt I wasn't properly trained. I was just thrown in a machine and expected to perform. And if I didn't perform, I'd be out within a couple of weeks. And that's what generally happened. Longest I lasted was 6 weeks, and that was with a property investment firm. I got one lead in 6 weeks. Now you're thinking, wow. But yeah. Yeah, literally. Yeah. One lead. Yeah. And I look back, it was a great learning experience, but I was poorly trained. The leaders I was looking there, they promoted Jordan Belfort's straight line system, which is a bloody good training system. Now I'm actually redoing his program, and it's taught me a lot through a higher level coach at the moment who's teaching me, who's breaking it down on a much more digestible level, and we're implementing as we go. So it's like building a Lego set. You do 5 lessons and then you implement those 5 lessons straight away into your week. And then you do another 5 lessons, implement, then you get feedback, and then it's repeat till it's literally habitual. Yeah. 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 So perseverance for me, I think I'm a lot more ahead of my fear of the phone than I was when I first started. I'm confident. I've certainly come out and tightened up a lot of my presentation in the last week, coming from a presentation that was strongly right brain, no natural authority within the word track. It was just pure right brain and emotion, and it was just going everywhere. Like, for example, there was no triggers. Well, there was a trigger in the conversation. There was a little bit of a diagnosis. What else we had? There was emotional cost. There wasn't the bridge. The financial and the logistics was just like a pump and dump and see you later. There was no insight or authority to it. There was no there's still no qualification. So I've had to tighten my end up and qualify the leads myself, which has been a lesson in itself. Because, where am I? So the master word track that I've recently done in the last few days, because again, I've trialed it and I've had a couple of leads that have come through that have been a great fit emotionally and mentally, but logistically not in space, financial space. They were logistically broke, right? They should not have been qualified. So I've had to tighten both my presentation and my triage up a lot because I do not want that to happen a third time. I've pretty much got one more lead that I'll call tomorrow who's come through the database as looking for work. I'm not a career coach. I have no interest in career coaching. That kind of stuff is not my interest. No, it's not. Because majority of them have been on unemployment benefits for a long time. 12 months or more, they're fretting, they need a job, they're out of money, they really need a career coach who's in an employment agency who knows how to combine coaching with career. That's not my skill. Yeah. My skill is more life strategist with business owners and franchisees because I can look at someone's business, I can look at someone's, pretty much their business and map their behaviors and use all my training and skills, bring it back on them, which doesn't take much. And I'll be going in and upskilling myself very soon for EMDR therapy. So I'm going to get that as a legitimate training. It's been recommended to me that I do it. I've got the base foundation through my Master Trainers NLP, but there's another level so I can read trauma a lot better. Yeah. So 200 cold calls. So perseverance and grit. Learn to have a thick skin. The rejection's not about you, it's about them. I'm just the mirror. I'm just the vessel holding the mirror up. And someone who tells me, why call them on a freaking Saturday? Well, why not? Saturday is a fucking business day. The shops are open. Woolworths is open. Retail shops are open. Trade's open. I can book a tradie on a Saturday. I can book a consultant on Saturday. But why can't I call you and you're in your own business? Boom! I had a few of those yesterday. Why call me on a Saturday? Well, because Saturday's a business day. Yeah? Eh? Exactly right. And I learned long ago in an insurance game when I was selling life insurance. And this is a nifty little trick that I should use a lot more of is if you're in business, expect it to be pitched 8 to 10 times a day. because you're in business and you have a business phone number. That's marketed on a business site, especially for franchisees, right? Public data. Now, if you're not a business owner, if you're private, in other words, you're residential, that's a different argument. And what a lot of subcontract tradies have done in the past is they go into business as a subbie, right, and then use their personal mobile number so they could protect themselves legally on the do not contact registers. However, that legislation's been changed, right? If your number's publicly listed somewhere and you're in a business, immediately that law gets dropped. So then you can be pitched as many up to 8 to 10 times a day by different marketing organisations. I'm not saying one person ring the same organisation 8 to 10 times a day, but literally and theoretically you can be pitched 8 to 10 times a day. You might think, oh, that's too much. Well, you're in business, man. Don't like it. Don't be in business. Don't start a business if you don't like being pitched to, period. And I don't say that out of spite or being a smart ass. That's the reality of it. So some other lessons I've learned from 200 cold calls. I've met some really nice people at the same time, some people that are open to an opportunity. I've met some really struggling franchisees out there who want help. Who need help. For confidence levels, help me dealing with this fear of the telephone. For me, with this ADHD, I've got rejection, what do they call it, dysphoria syndrome, RDS or whatever they call, the academics call it. So when I get rejection or abused, it hurts a lot. People ask why you're in sales for. Because I have a passion and a desire to help others. I want to help others. I genuinely care for people. I care for people to win at life, win in their marriages, win in their business, win in all areas of their life. Okay? To become the next models and examples that our culture and our society craves in the so-called leadership realm, yeah? That's why I care so much. It's because I care so much. It's what drives me forward to do what I do. Whether I'm in a franchise or I'm building my own independent business, it's beside the point. I care so much about people. I care so much about the welfare of franchisees. I care so much about the welfare of small business owners. Winter is coming. We are coming into hard times. We've just had the budget that come down last week, which has created all sorts of chaos. It's affecting property owners. Right, this is what I see, right? And I haven't done any detailed research as of yet of being the futurist, and what I'm predicting at the moment is coming true so far. So I'm predicting a future where, let's start with property, right? Property's already priced out of the market for the average homeowner. This tax cutting's a lot of bullshit because they cut in one hand and rob the other, right? Doesn't take much to learn about that. Property buyers or property agents. I think there was a spruiker getting around selling these $45,000 programs there for a while. He did really well, become buyers agents. They're all going to dry up because property's out of reach. So they'll be looking for work or they'll have to pivot out, right? Commission-only real estate agents, I know, are going to choke in the next 12 months, right? Because particularly The 12-year run that I've observed up here in the Moreton Bay region has come to an end. Right, when I'm seeing waterfront shitholes go for $2 million, those are jobs. Right, riddled with asbestos and barely standing up. I know the property market's done. Right, it's done. Right, unless we can have another 2008 GFC where property prices crash 70 to 80% below market value. Right, that's what we need. We need that. Right, we need that. We need it. Reality is we need it. Yeah. So I see the future. There's a lot of pain about to happen in the property game. Rents are going to skyrocket because there's no favourable conditions now for private landlords to hold investment properties, right? What else are we looking at? Small business is going to be hit hard, right? Unless you have a trade or trade service business, you're going to struggle. You will struggle, right? So unless you have an independent trade business, roofing, plumbing, mowing, building pest, test and tag, you will struggle, right? Retail is almost a thing of the past. The internet age has come and gone. The digital age has come and gone. We're now in the app and on-demand age, which is a build on from the digital age. I can do my grocery shopping on a fucking app. What do I need to go to Woolworths for? Really? I do all my shopping, pretty much I do my extensive of my shopping on Amazon. Why do I need to go to retail shops? Retail's dead. Yeah. Another lesson I've observed, restauranting's dead. My first business I failed at was a Thai restaurant, a 126-seat restaurant. I failed miserably, but it was a powerful lesson. I bought it at the beginning of 2008, and 6 months later, the GFC happened. 2 years later, we shut the doors because we couldn't pay the rent. 6 grand a month, I think it was rent. Food licensing sat at about $20,000 a year or something. At the time, it's now. Was it for a restaurant? I looked at last figures for a little cafe, licensing and red tape before you even get approved for a lease is $36,900. That's a minimum wage per year. So why start a restaurant? And I look at the franchises. Why start a franchise restaurant? I mean, yeah. It's ridiculous. So I'm getting carried off from topic. So other lessons for me is observing what's around, what's a need. Coaching will always be a need. I think this time now we're coming into a market. This is where aggressive business growth happens. So this is where franchises grow. Trade businesses, franchises grow. I mean, the gyms group's going to explode in the next 2 years because people are doing it tough. This is where network marketing businesses are going to explode. This is where affiliate marketing is going to explode. This is where franchising will explode because genuinely, what's an average trade franchise? 20, 30 grand, 40,000? Let's go with 30 grand, right? You can get yourself a mowing business, right? Full turnkey system, trailer and everything, ops. Genuinely, that's the franchisee's last $30,000 that they're chipping in, so they want to make it count, particularly in a tough environment like this. Yeah. So this is where groups like the gyms group explode in these tough economic markets. Yeah. And this is the other lesson that I observed from calling from franchisees is it's a security blanket at the same time. Mm. Anyways, guys, I've rambled on for a bit. So that's some lessons from 200 cold calls, literal cold calls. I know it's probably touched the surface. And it's one of those episodes that I haven't really written anything down to prepare. I've just gone off cuff. So there you go. Anyways, that's it for today. Like and subscribe, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube for the video. And of course, if you find some value from this podcast and you'd like a 30-minute one-on-one connection call to see if we can partner, build a relationship and add value to each other, there'll be a link below for my calendar. All right. 30-minute call, no commitments. Let's have a conversation. And coming soon, I have Joseph Michelli coming on the Legacy Forge podcast. The interview has been done, been recorded. I'm just waiting for the final edits and approval from his team. So that'll be up soon. All right, guys. Bye for now. See you on the next episode. Yeah. Bye for now.